Newcastle Police Department. They've been here, the city of Newcastle in Delaware, has been here since 1672. I'm not sure if the police department has been here that long, but the city has been here that long. So before the revolution, the city's been here. Interesting. All right. So I'm going to go take a look at over here. We're on the public sidewalk. Let's look, see if we can find the cars. So there's people here, it looks like. They've got parking, so maybe they don't have the day off. But it's police parking only. Yeah. Does anybody remember Gabby Petito, who was murdered by her boyfriend? Anybody remember that? Remember, does anyone think that the parents kind of covered that up? And then he went out into the swamp and did himself in? I wonder if anybody agrees that parents will a lot of times cover things up for their kids. But Newcastle seems to be it's the police department. I'm not sure if they're open, but we're just kind of walking around, looked at the parking lot, enjoying the sights of Newcastle, Delaware. Just kind of walking around the building. Looks like they're closed. Even though there's employees parked. These must be police officers, maybe the ones that are on duty. Please use the red phone. I wonder if they've got air conditioning on in here. Oh, it feels a little bit better in here. Newcastle Police Department. Dedicated October 15th, 2003. So it's a relatively new building. Ruth Ann Minner was the governor at the time, it looks like.
So it's an accredited police agency.
Yeah, accredited. Huh. Let me take my sunglasses off here real quick.
What better to do on 4th of July weekend than check up on your government? I think they're all back there hiding.
Stephanie James, good to see you.
Holiday, I don't appreciate that.
Let's Go
I
TVO.
don't appreciate it if they're in there trying to enjoy their holiday.
Claire. Rats to the moon. Rats to the moon in the
You know,
chat.
if we did have a ferry sometime, man, you could just overrun this place right now. They're not even staffed. They're not even
Ozzy
open.
Nathan.
You know what I'm saying?
Welcome, brother. Might have to get to Australia at some point. Our guy.
Oh, it's a
in the
staff.
chat.
Look, I thought that was a dude. That looks like Michael Jackson and Billie Jean right there. I don't know why they have that. Is that their outfit? Yeah, that's it.
Chucko, Kansas. Claire. Just trying to recognize everybody in the chat. Keeping the swine in line. No premiere. We are live. We are live in Newcastle, Delaware. Newcastle, Delaware, at the police department. Anyone know who might be from Delaware? Newcastle, to be specific. Look who we have out there. Look at those guys. We've got people out there. There are people out there.
Those are really big cameras. Those are obscenely big.
You know what they say about police departments with big cameras?
Yeah, they're making up for.
They're overcompensating. They're overcompensating.
Overcompensating with the big
Are
camera.
you getting a request?
There's nobody there.
By request, I mean order. How'd you get it?
Well, you can get it, that part's open. I could try to press a button and maybe get somebody to answer.
Nobody's there. The halls of justice are empty.
Yes, the halls of justice are empty.
Crime doesn't happen.
Crime doesn't happen on
Holidays,
4th of July
on
weekend.
holidays, they need off, so they
Yeah.
shut crime down. They
Hard Clay, good to see you.
Yeah,
Tack.
they push the call.
Tack is in the chat.
So that they can take their time off. Correct.
Little did they know. That was This is why we have to be suspicious
We are very suspicious
all the time.
of this police
So
department.
nobody's in there right now.
They're left unsupervised. All the
It says this building is monitored by video cameras.
it's monitored by video cameras. It certainly is. We are monitoring it.
I don't even see
Yeah.
automatic door opening.
They are not ADA compliant.
No, they don't have buttons.
They don't have a ramp.
No, oh, well, that could be considered a ramp, right?
Because they don't like their buttons.
Yeah, that
Oh,
would be.
They don't like their buttons.
I guess that could be considered
But I
a
don't
ramp.
like the buttons pushed.
They do have a ramp.
They don't like their buttons pushed. Huh?
Do the red phone?
There is no red phone. Oh, there's an intercom. Yeah. Let me try the intercom. No.
Oh, my middle name is Peter. Somebody left their shade. That's suspicious. That is definitely suspicious. Come out, wherever you are.
It's a tiny bit cooler in here, but not that much. Patricia, good to see you. Army with Harmony. Yes, we made it.
Maybe somebody wants to call Newcastle Police Department and say, hey,
I know you're subscribed to our.
you guys are making today, can you push the pause button on the recording? Because that's that meeting. Somebody wants to call me.
Is that Evo?
Newcastle Police Department. That would be great, somebody could just see somebody's man in the house, you know?
There's no First Amendment protected activity on the walls. I like that.
And the button doesn't work.
Oh, somebody else screwed this plate on. The same person did not screw that plate on that screwed this plate on. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah, whoever screwed that thing on is definitely compliant. Look at that, that is OCD friendly right there. You see that? OCD friendly outlet?
Yeah.
And then look at this, somebody thought it was acceptable to leave that screw like that.
And that.
And that really off the same way. Somebody thought, now whoever
I can
did
tell
that
the
right there, they
are straight, right?
Right.
And here they're straight too.
Go behind the red one job.
And then over here.
That never happens again.
It's not straight, it's very crooked.
And the whole plate is crooked, not even lined up with the
I think
ground.
I need a complaint form for that one, you know what I mean? Like, if there's anything that deserves a complaint form, what happened in Washington is nothing, you know?
Well, they're already not compliant with the
You
ADA.
guys are not compliant.
Oh, look
with
at
that.
that stain up there.
How come
There's
you
a
guys
stain.
complain?
This place
There's-
is stained.
Question.
This place is stained.
Question, how come you guys are not compliant with the message on the door that says ring the phone?
No, that's an emergency phone. This is the
So,
intercom.
okay,
That's
so
the
why
bath-
that lied to me then?
That's the bathroom out there.
It
That's the
just said
bathroom.
red phone, so that's why I'm asking the question.
For an emergency.
Let's see who's.
Right.
But that said after hours,
Oh
so
my
it didn't
God.
say
That is
anything.
so much more OCD friendly right there. That is so OCD friendly.
Right.
Oh my God.
You would recognize OCD
Oh,
friendly.
big time.
Yes.
It does say to use the red phone.
Yeah, it
Use
says
the red phone.
Has anybody?
After
called
hours
Newcastle
or on
Police Department to see if
holiday,
they're open? Do we have
please
anybody in
use the
here?
red
The
phone.
red phone's going 911.
Oh, is it? Oh, we,
Yeah,
Yeah.
after hours or on holidays, please use the red phone. But none of these, I mean, do they have officers on duty that can respond to 5 fraudulent? I don't know. I mean, like, they're probably understaffed to handle 4 or 5 fraudulent.
yeah, they are very understaffed, no matter how many people they have to deal with 5 frauditors. Yeah. Oh, we said that out loud. Frauditors. We understand all the rules of frauditing. We got West Side over there. Every day of the week. First Amendment every day of the week.
Cannot cancel my First Amendment because your fucking feelings are want to cry about it.
Newcastle Police Department. Cammed up caveman. All right. You know, somebody really should mow the lawn. The lawn's a little high. Did they mow it before they went on the vacay? Whew. I feel like Georgia Transparency came up here and brought the heat. Man, oh man. He's always coming in hot. Looks like there might be an officer here. This is the red phone. However, it does say emergency on it. It doesn't just say nighttime or holidays, use the red phone. Even though it says it over here, after hours or on holidays, please use the red phone. That phone says emergency. Whew. They are not ADA compliant here. Four corner, fist in the air, track and traveler. Good to see you, brother. Yep. City of Newcastle, Delaware. Police Department, service since 1672. 1672. They've been a police department since the days of the king. Since the days of the king. And they ran through the briars, and they ran through the brambles, and they ran through the patches where the rabbits couldn't go. They ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch them. Down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Rabbits couldn't go there. That was the British during 1814. You know, they took a little trip down the Mississippi.
On all three.
To New Orleans.
Guess where I'm at?
Guess where we are. They do already know.
I'm in Newcastle,
Yeah.
Delaware. I'm
Yeah.
in Delaware, bitch.
That's right. We in Delaware.
Gotta say, bitch.
Bitch.
I got him to say it. I wasn't really trying to.
Nah. Yeah. Newcastle. Since 1672. I'm gonna have a cigarette. I'm gonna stand outside. Might as well smoke them because I got them. Boy, this gimbal really helps the shaking. It doesn't shake as much on camera. Except for I'm trying to hold it with my left hand right now, which is the worst. There we go. Going back over here. Yes, smash that like. Subscribe if you haven't already. To Brandon Mitchell, West Side Accountability, Broken System, Broken Trust, and press harder. Subscribe to those channels if you haven't already. Everybody see our live stream that we did for the 4th? We were at the Washington Monument, enjoying the fireworks through the trees. They didn't really get above the trees that much, but we were good where we were. It was a good night. We saw tyranny happen. I've got a video of the bow. The bow. Guys will be looking for that. When I get back home, I'll be putting that out. Wonderful, beautiful bows. People did that really well. Bowed in front of police officers in Washington, D.C. The big bow. I'm probably going to spell it B-A-O or B-A-U. Bow. 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 B-A-O. Yeah. The big bow. You know, James Freeman's boss. La Rata. We've met some really great people along this trip. People that are real. People that are about what we do. Real good people. Lots of them. From all walks of life. A lot of support. Lots of support. We're happy to have everyone along the way. Newcastle, Delaware Police Department service since 1672. So they were a police department where the king was still in power. So they're pretty used to obeying orders, I imagine. Doesn't matter which king. Wanda Mize is in here. Good to see you, brother. Oh. Yeah. So back to Gabby Petito. Everybody, I think I'm pronouncing that last name right. I'm not sure, but everybody does remember, you know, she went through Utah with her boyfriend. They got into an argument. The police, you know, were called. Then the next thing you know, they find her in a field somewhere. And the boyfriend went home to mommy and daddy. That happened. Boyfriend went home to mommy and daddy. Then he meandered out into a swamp. And offed himself, but, you know, unalived himself. Which was probably the best thing for everyone. You know, the parents trying to give him cover. That happens, you know. Parents are always going to try to cover for their kids. But we're in Newcastle, Delaware, at the police department. And know I keep saying that over and over. They seem to be closed today. I tried to press the button on the intercom and nobody answered. I've seen a lot of private vehicles in the police parking lot, only one police vehicle. So we know that there's some police out on patrol, but you would think they'd have somebody at the office. They're all on vacation still. Of course, it is Sunday too, right? Sunday's a fun day. We are really covering the perimeter. You see one over there, one over there. I'm still sitting in front of the building. What do we got here? Oh, Mr. Carey's in the house. Been really busy. Oh, that's right, Stephen. Really busy. The internet passed away. I had to get. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, Rex. Good to see you too, Mr. Carey. We have a police officer that has arrived. Police officers going into the gate. Maybe his shift is over. Maybe not. Maybe he got a call. We don't know. He's pulling in. He's got a ride along, huh? That's interesting. Somebody's riding along.
We're in the cloud chasing part.
Yeah.
Just got it. Uh-oh.
Oh, cloud chasing. Oh, they got back
They're reconfigured.
in. They decided not to get out of the vehicle.
Uh-oh.
Let's go hide over here. They're gonna go, huh? Oh, pull them right up to the door. There we go. Oh, that's very suspicious, sir. That's
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what that means.
we use big words. They might be out of context, but maybe not.
I'm good, sir. How are you? I was on the phone. I saw you. We were on two separate calls. Definitely.
Oh, of course not. I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Behavioral health. Huh? Huh. All right. What's your name?
Not a lot.
None of them?
Not a lot. Like Padawan from Star Wars.
If I know how to spell it, I can. Like Padawan from Star Wars, but with the name. P-A-T-A-W-A-N.
But doesn't end.
Padawan.
So not a lot.
Not a one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You like looking for Newcastle?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. They treat you good?
Yeah.
They do? We can put a stop to that. Okay. If you guys don't start. Well, the thing is we want you to start solving crime. He's already confessed that you were on two separate calls that weren't crime.
Crime related.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, we want you to solve rapes, robberies, murders, and stop doing all the other bullshit. Especially
murders.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
Especially the murder.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure she thinks so.
People call police for all kind of stuff. You know, it's not like they initiate the contact.
They call, but then you can go and say, okay, there's no crime and moving on here.
That is
Right.
absolutely
Is
what
that
has
what you did?
happened. Yeah.
Would you like us to come out so we can talk so we're not
Oh,
talking through
yeah.
a fence?
Oh, yeah.
All right, just give us
We
one
don't have
second.
to do the
Just
Mr. Wilson. Just keep your hands where we can see them.
I got it. I promise I'm not going to hurt you.
Maybe get a conversation in this fun July weekend. We do have folks that have a mental health expert. That took maximum stirring of the hornet nest, but
Yes, it did.
yeah. Yeah.
We have to
The
stir
hiding
that.
behind the camera phase worked well. Facing clout. Now we've moved the goalpost.
Right.
And then we're going to come out and they're going to get to see us all shirk responsibility.
That's right. Because we've done nothing wrong. Yeah.
And we're whining about it. Exactly right.
See, I told you guys, we know the rules of frauditing. We have nothing better to do. And we're suspicious. And we leave real men alone. It's hot out here. Yeah.
Hello,
What was your name, officer?
Officer Young.
Young?
Yep.
Did you have a badge number there?
It's
17?
badge number 17, but my number is 3065.
3065. So
Yep.
it must be an employee ID number is
Yeah.
what you're giving? Okay, cool. So the badge number, though, is 17.
Yeah, yep. So we have, I believe, 19 officers altogether, including the captain and the two captains and the chief.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm number 17 because
Oh, all right.
just where I
So,
fell.
so how long have you been doing this?
I've been here for a little over 4 years.
And you like it?
I do.
Yeah.
I was a correctional officer before this, so it's good to be on the outside of the wall.
Right.
Yep, you have
Yeah.
the freedom to go around instead of just staying into.
You don't
in a
have to
theater.
actually be in a correction facility
Correct.
along
Yep,
with
the freedom
everyone
to
else.
wander around,
Yeah.
talk to people.
Yeah.
Yep.
How long were you in corrections?
6 years.
So 6 years in corrections, 4 years doing this
That's
on
correct.
patrol?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I see you got a stripe too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's officer first class.
Officer first class?
Yep.
First
What does that
class.
It's the recruit, officer first class, the third rank.
mean?
Yep.
We got 2 more Hornets coming in. Uh-oh!
The Hornets have arrived. Is it shift change or something, or?
No, they were out on the call that I was on. I just beat them back here.
Oh, so did they get a call to come here too?
No.
So that's a supervisor there, right?
Correct. Yep.
I can tell from the way he parked.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, supervisors always park that way. Yeah. Because they can.
You know, sir.
Good. What's your name, officer?
John.
Fry?
Yep.
John Fry?
Yep.
You're actually the first person to say
Okay,
Tom.
3067. Awesome.
You're one of the first people to say his name right.
Yeah,
A lot of people call him Frey.
Right.
Oh, Frank, yeah, no.
Push the pause button on the front, and we're like, okay, we'll just...
I've been educated. So, I was educated, somewhat.
Oh, he's ready to take your public information request.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I'd like to do a verbal request. Have you got a pen and paper? Okay.
Well, I'm not. Well, you know, I mean...
And this is for the city, so you can just take it up to them, and then they'll fulfill it.
Okay.
But I have to do a verbal one,
My friend's home.
because I can't write or type. So.
What can I help you with?
Okay, I would like to know who the ADA Title II coordinator is for the city of Newcastle.
ADA Title II coordinator.
Yeah,
Is it
Americans with
okay if I
Disabilities
Google
Act.
that right now?
Yeah, that'd be great if you did.
Yes. What is it?
And then, no, I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'd also like to have their certification, their training certificate emailed to me, and I'll give you an email address at the end. I would also like to know how much money in federal dollars, just the full dollar amount. I don't have to have it itemized, or it's, I don't want to be vague. Just the dollar amount of how much federal money Newcastle has brought in since 2007 up to today's date, or whatever they have.
Is it 2007?
Since 2007, that's when the ADA was implemented. And I noticed that you don't have doors that somebody in a wheelchair could push a button and the doors would automatically open. That's not ADA compliant. So I'd kind of like to talk to them about it. I'd also like to know the ADA Title II coordinator's date of hire. Do you know who the ADA coordinator is?
Off the top of my head, I do not.
Okay,
So you have an
everyone
email for
should
me, though?
know because it's supposed to be posted in every lobby.
What did you say it was?
Ed Hill.
Ed Hill.
Ed Hill. Okay,
Okay.
that's
You said you
good.
had an email for me that I can send that to?
Yes,
Okay.
all one word and then 4 numbers after that.
Okay.
The Vigilance Committee, and if you have trouble spelling it, it's on my hat.
I thought you said both.
The Vigilance Committee. 1864.
Oh, hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm trying to spell committee.
Yeah, it's tough. 2 M's, 2 T's, and 2
Yep.
E's.
And what was it?
1864.
Okay.
That's how long my ancestors have been rooting out government corruption.
Okay.
At gmail.com.
At Gmail. Okay. As soon as I get that information, I can email it to you.
I appreciate that. Well, you don't have to. You have to get it to the city that
Oh, you want me to get
so
it to the
that they'll fulfill it. Yes,
Oh,
and then send me an email back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
A name or title you wish to have an address to?
Well, the vigilante. Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. A lot of people don't want to do a public records request submission for me, but I'm glad you did. That's ADA compliant.
You
All
guys
right.
from this area or?
Oh, we're from here, there, and everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys all, I'm assuming, know each other?
Yeah, that's a pretty good assumption. I mean, we're all wearing white shirts.
guys got a business card?
clean, you
I
know,
do actually.
white.
Right on.
Good choice though,
I
because
need
it's really
one.
hot outside today.
Yeah. It doesn't attract so much of the sun, although it's still hot.
Yeah, today.
Yeah. It's really, you're very nice. Very nice. And it's good that you guys, that you have a behavioralist for calls like those. Because it could really get out of hand and escalate very quickly with just the police there. You know. So, that's good.
And you're like, wow, we see suspicious.
So,
We see some suspicious folks. Let's check and see how everything is going.
hi.
Sir.
Can I get your name?
Sergeant Torres.
Sergeant Torres. Is it Staff Sergeant?
Master Sergeant.
Master Sergeant. Oh,
And
so
who was his first
in
name,
the
right?
Army, when I was
Who?
in the Army,
Yeah.
that was
that's
just
who.
a Staff Sergeant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, well, thank you. And this is the supervisor's car. Obviously, he gets to park any way he wants. So, because he's a supervisor, he's somebody. So, and do you have a badge number too? 3032.
Oh yeah, I didn't ask badge number.
Yeah.
Man, see,
Thank
how
you.
bad am I? You know?
It's good that we work together. Teamwork makes the
Yeah,
dream
I mean,
work.
I'm out here doing some frauditing and I'm not
Yeah.
even doing it right. You know what I mean?
Right.
have you heard of a fraudit before? Fraudit? Yeah. Frauditors? Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. As you can see. Like, they're just everywhere. Well, we're coming up with some rules for frauditing, right? You want to hear the first rule of frauditing? First rule of frauditing is to have nothing better to do. Okay? You absolutely have nothing better to do, right? And, you know, for me, I see it's kind of like, you know, kind of like you guys have nothing better to do, right? Than wait for a crime, wait for a call, right? So we have nothing better to do, right? Just like you guys are suspicious when you see stuff, we get suspicious, you know? And then you see like, well, one cop when we're having a nice conversation, and you see two cop cars rolling in, it was like, whoa! It was like, what's gonna happen here, right? Yeah, right. See, but you see how it looks, right? It appears suspicious. And anytime I'm suspicious, I just like having my suspicions 12, you know, which is cool. You know, you can totally cool, personally, awesome. Man, if everybody could be like you, you know, we did this exact same thing a couple days ago. They ended up throwing him in the back of a cop car, picking him up, throwing him in the back of a cop car. Yeah, it was bad. And kept him anyway. Yeah, in midair. In midair.
Yeah.
Like,
And they kept asking him, do you need an ambulance? Do you need an ambulance?
When that happens, you guys think that we can make some mistakes. The truth is, you need us to make our body a box and talk and all that. Sure, probably. Yeah, and then it's real easy to get in the habit of just thinking, oh, you have to go to it's just the habit of these guys, right? But I mean, does he think he's getting out of here without coming over? Yeah. He's actually. He doesn't. He's got to come. Don't go inside the gate, guys. Don't go inside the gate, guys.
Don't do that. The directives are there. Don't do that. Don't go inside the gate.
I knew
Yep.
we had to do it.
I knew a directive was coming at some point. Yeah.
What's your name? It's Luke. This is fine. I'll sit here and talk to you.
Yeah.
That's all.
We're never going to go anywhere we're not allowed to be.
Yeah. That is one of the other rules to fraud. We know it all. Yeah, we have to know it all. We rely on you telling us we couldn't walk through that gate. We do that. You guys should know what gates are, right? I know you guys like to say, oh, it wasn't us, all the different departments happen in different places. Places don't cause, right? It's people and experiences, you know, persons, right, that do things, not the place. So, you know, just because you might be on a different department, cleaning is, you know, different but similar, right, amongst all departments. You know? And there are many cases, I don't want to say names because I might get it wrong, but I do recall a case within the last 4 to 5 years of a guy a cop He was responding to a welfare check, maybe, I think, because the front door was open. Grandma was in there playing video games with her grandson, and cop jumps the fence, goes in her backyard that's locked. She's got a gaming gun, like duck hunt, and well, actually she had a real gun, but she was in her backyard that was locked, right? And there's somebody in her yard at night, and he shoots her right there in front of her grandson. Maybe this?
I didn't hear the last part. Hard of hearing.
He shot her in front of her grandson in her own house. She was in her house with a gun. But there's a cop back there. But he jumped the locked fence. Like, you understand, anybody can walk up on somebody's front porch, knock on the door. Yeah, you're not trespassing until you can ask for leave. Right? And you can do that just like anybody. You can look in somebody's trash can if it's on the street, just like anybody can look in their trash can. You can look in somebody's car window just like anybody can look in somebody's car window. None of you jumped me and threw me to the ground trying to look in your windows. Yeah, clean that. Yep. Right? But what you can't do is jump a fence. Just walk. Without exigent circumstances, a warrant, or consent, right? There's only 3 reasons, or is there 4 now? I don't know. The evil orange man might have added. Off the top of your head? There's not nothing on the top of your head.
Yeah, unfortunately, I get good looks from my dad.
Right, I know. I thought this was going to go a certain way. I'm paying attention. I want to know the truth, right? There's only 3 reasons. This is important, right? It is, right? Sergeant, there's 3 reasons that you can get into a house or a car or search somebody. Exigent circumstances, consent, or a warrant, right? And so, like, you could lock down a house if you think, oh, the door's open, this looks suspicious, let's get a warrant, let's call, let's make sure nobody leaves, right? But jumping the fence and then shooting grandma in her house because she came in the window and scared you. It's not okay, right? That's creating your own exigent circumstances and then responding to it. Right? Like if you're doing traffic stop and you're in front of the car, me and you, Lou, we're holding the seat. And then you got in front of a car, a moving car, right? And then you created the own exigent circumstance and then you pull your gun and shoot them. Because now they're coming towards you with a moving car that you walked in front of. Then you created the own thing, right? Can't do that.
I mean, I also have the right to protect myself from
Not by standing in front of a moving car. If you're next to it doing a traffic
So here's my
stop-
question though, just off the top of my head. If the person is coming to hit me, even if I stand
No,
in
you're
front
next
of
to
them?
the car. You're here doing
Oh,
a
I thought you were
traffic
saying
stop.
like I was standing in
The
front
car
of them.
starts moving. You see him put him in gear. He's moving, and then you run in front of him.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, now he's moving towards me. Boom, I can shoot him. Because
No.
now, see, you created your own exigent
Correct.
circumstance.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Right? And in this day and age, that's happening. And cops are getting away with it, because juries aren't convicting yet. Right? But tide is changing, right? Because of lost trust. And when you lose trust, it's hard to get it back. But you guys are doing a good job towards helping that today. I like your response.
Not to interrupt.
If we could have some lights on these cars, though, and maybe an illegal order from you.
No, there's no order.
How
I just
about,
wanted
can we do a palm reading contest? Can we do a palm reading contest? So it's a one-way street. I know you like to get pushy, but I get pushy,
I
right?
just want to.
This is our scene, okay?
I just want to let you know that the Fort Wayne, Texas police officer that you quoted was arrested and convicted of a crime. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not just calling out.
So you did know that?
Yeah, exactly. I know that, right? We got another one. You guys have 10 cops on duty right now? Whoa. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We have
So
a
that's
few
5.
officers- We have a few officers that are on station. Yes.
He's waving at us. Go ahead and wave, everyone. Now it says to protect and serve. I remember those in the 70s where it said protect and serve. Not a lot of police cars say that anymore.
That is
So, Sergeant, Newcastle Police has been in existence since 1672. So they also followed the orders of the king, right? Well, since 1672, the
Well,
king
let me ask you about
controlled
that.
everything.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you about that, because like that actually brings up a good point. How were you guys around COVID with masks?
We were pretty much following the orders of it. Every department was following the orders that were put out.
What were the orders?
Well, wearing a mask, 6 feet.
Did you ever arrest somebody for wearing masks?
No.
Did you
Okay,
wear
so
a
it's kind
diaper
of
on
on
your
the-
face?
I did when I had to.
Oh my God, that had to feel
Oh.
humiliating.
That's so
Having
humiliating,
to put
right?
that thing on. It's like a shame. You know what I'm saying? Man. Well, the reason I'm asking that is because, you know, like order following, you know, it can lead to really bad places. And I think COVID was a classic example of that, right? Telling me that it's against the law and I have to have a mask out, even when I'm in public or somewhere like that, you know, thankfully, you know, with my teeth, you think I'd want to wear them. Right? Like you'd be like, hey, that guy should be in favor of masks, but I wasn't, okay? I wasn't. Because guess what? This pretty face right here, this pretty face is not getting covered.
That's the paid gig.
So, but you never
we were at a
enforced it,
dispatch.
and you never arrested somebody for not wearing masks. So
But
doesn't
you
that
wore
make the law-
one because you were ordered to.
But doesn't that take away, like, because you said it, depending on what the rules were at the time, right, and what was told to you, but you didn't enforce
Well,
it.
that's what it came in.
We would ask people to
Ask.
and we,
Right.
Oh.
we did,
Ask is the key word.
But
in that,
there's
because you
authority
wouldn't
there
demand,
when
right.
you ask.
Right. See, and
It's,
anytime
they
like
feel
this-
like a person of authority is just.
Yeah, well, let me
Told
so,
them
so,
to do it.
I mean, that's a great point, though. But that's
Yeah.
a great point is that you would ask folks, you wouldn't tell them, right? Because if it was the law, you would tell them, right? Because you don't go, hey, will you please not commit murder?
Right.
You go, hey, if you commit murder, I'm doing something about it. Right? We're going to put a stop to it. So. Fuck, shit, damn, cunt, bitch, suck, fuck, dick, fuck. Like, I'll say them all. I'll say every last one of them.
to swear in the city. Well, it depends on the context of how.
Well, if it's fighting words like
Right.
cause a reasonable person to breach the peace, right? So if you go up and ask a girl if she'll touch you on the face, she slaps you in the face, that's really funny.
Yeah,
right?
it would probably be.
Right.
Yeah.
Fighting words.
But if you're just swearing and like that, free speech still applies, right? Right. If you say bomb on an airplane and it causes panic, then it caused panic. But if you say it in a funny way and nobody panics, then you didn't cause panic and it wasn't likely to, right?
We're dropping
You
truth
have
bombs
to
here.
have a breach of peace, right? Okay. This guy thinks otherwise. We're gonna
Lou, this is a master class on fighting. By the way, when he got arrested in Maryland the other day, he managed to get himself arrested without them even having probable cause or RAS. It's like that's next level frauditing when you can get arrested without even having RAS.
And
You
get
know what I
access
mean?
to the jail.
Impressive.
Yeah.
It's like a feat I've never seen before. I mean, they lifted him up in the air so high, they were like, we have no RAS, but we're just gonna whoosh, threw him in the back of the car. Isn't that crazy?
And we caught that on 4 cameras.
Yeah. Well, the amazing thing to me is that it still happens every day in the streets of America. You know, I witnessed it. Like, and I've gotten arrested off the side of the street. And all I did is say, this little piggy has been generating revenue for the state all damn day long. This is Borg, and Borg's a little liar. And then I turned my camera, and boom, these 2 buddies are coming over to get me. But I wasn't even within. I'm closer to you guys right now than I was to him when I said that, right? But they were running a speed trap, right? And so, a speed trap to me, that's state-sanctioned legalized. That's what it is, right? You're not doing it for public safety. If they wanted public safety, they wouldn't be in unmarked cars, right? I mean, like, when folks see you, what do?
They slow down.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's public safety that you're after, you would want marked vehicles, right?
And that's why.
They're unmarked cars.
We don't have any unmarked vehicle, as you can tell.
That's a deal. Okay, that's a great. That is. Yeah, we'll give you credit for that one. Now listen, this is the last thing I'm giving you credit on. Okay. This is
I'll
the
take
only
credit where
thing-
credit's due.
Okay, all right, but marked vehicles because then you also open the window to folks not knowing what's in the pocket. and police impersonators. Right?
I personally like the black and white. I think it's a great style of vehicle.
Yeah, no, I think this stands out. You can
It
tell
doesn't have a
it's
blue
not-
line
there's
going
no
across it.
question that,
That's
hey,
good.
That should be a legitimate police officer. It's those undercover ones. You know what I'm saying? And then police impersonators. Have you ever heard of a guy named Jeremy DeWitt?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, all cops know Jeremy DeWitt, right?
Yeah, well, Notre One.
Okay, so yeah, and then you have this other guy. His name is Kaiser. Claude Ranger. He was on YouTube. There's these fake cops that end up on YouTube. Jeremy DeWitt was one, right? This guy Kaiser, he was another one. He was pretending he was an MP. Yeah, from the military. Turns out nobody would pass basic training, anything, but he was like, he had a line flag, he was like, cop's ass, right? But my point to all this is that these fake guys are the problem. Right? They could cause some serious damage. They could rack up serious amount of victims before you guys even around here. Right? So that's why the unmarked police cars, right? And then I was standing there and I was calling it out. Now, just like we're doing right now, they could have been invited to the conversation. But explain to them what you're doing now. I think say something about like they could have been perfectly capable of telling me their opinion and giving me their opinion. Right now, I'm here trying to enforce traffic, trying to be safe, right? They didn't do anything. Just drive around, driving around a parking lot.
Disturbing any lawful assembly or meeting of persons without lawful authority.
Oh, we
Post under the vigilance committee. Is that the username?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes, maybe. Yeah. So,
TikTok, Instagram.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. A lot of
X.
different platforms. Yeah.
Just any platform, Rumble, yeah, because YouTube started.
You can use your freedom of speech on Rumble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never have a problem with YouTube. Like we're live on YouTube right now. Yeah, so just so you know, I'm sure you guess that.
Yeah.
In public, so I don't.
Yeah, we're all. Yeah.
Ah, got you. That's the second one.
Listen,
You
second
said
one,
you
second
were
one.
gonna Give me another one.
See, this guy's already busting my balls. That's why you can't give him an name.
I want to let you know that I'm just a dude who didn't want to go to college, ended up going to college, decided I just wanted to be a cop because I didn't want to work behind the desk. I can guarantee you that there's more things we agree on than disagree on.
What do you like best about the job?
Me?
Yeah.
The freedom that I have.
Freedom that you have?
Yeah, I get to be basically, Sergeant Torres is my boss, but he said, what are you going to do there? I'm going to do traffic enforcement.
Did you have to wear a mask?
Huh? I was not an officer.
Oh, how long have you been on the
3 years.
3 years? Oh, okay, cool.
Just under 3 years.
Would you have worn a mask?
Huh?
Would you have worn a mask?
I didn't like masks.
Okay, because you just said a minute ago, what's your favorite part, and that's freedom. But then what if they had required you to wear a mask?
Well, we would have had to have that conversation, but I wasn't required because of the employment that I had at the time.
But doesn't that seem like the opposite of freedom, is having to wear a mask?
Well, yes, I agree.
Okay.
That's what I said. Like, there's going to be a lot of things that you and me agree on,
Okay.
a lot less things that we disagree on.
Okay.
Were you ever in the military?
Not, sir.
Okay. But you've read the Constitution then, right?
What's
Or
that?
this your
You've read the
assignment?
Constitution.
For the good
I have
guys.
And you swore an oath to it,
For the good
right?
guys for a little bit. Why don't you go back to being a firefighter and being the good guys? You know? The firefighters, everybody
Well,
loves
they weren't the good
firefighters.
guys the other day in Idaho. What happened there?
Oh, what happened in Idaho?
Yeah, they
active shooter.
fired on
Oh.
active shooters on firefighters. Yeah.
Active shooter on a fire? So,
The guy
an active shooter was taken.
I didn't get the last of that story. What happened? How did that end up?
He wound up the shooter was there.
Yeah.
So 2 firemen died, a third was injured and he's now in stable condition. And the suspect was found deceased later that evening with himself with a gunshot wound.
Oh, wow.
Other than that, I haven't heard any updates. I can't
Right.
get any further.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, because we haven't had time.
Brush fire on fire, set a bunch of woods on fire, and then just waited until the firemen to arrive.
Oh, man.
Shot through.
Yeah, see, this is much better being, being recorded than just being shot. Right? You see, and the way I see it is like, this is kind of like a blast with cameras. I mean, the camera can be such a corrective mechanism if you allow it to, right?
You guys have your body cams on too?
Body cam, and then each car has a
Dash cam?
as well.
Perfect. So are your body cams on?
It is, so you can see there's a red dot right at the top.
Oh yeah. Okay. Perfect. Anytime you're engaging with the public.
Always.
Yep.
I don't have
And you don't ever mute it, right?
I don't need to.
Okay.
So yeah, we like this. This is what.
In your
this is
3
what
years, have you ever arrested an officer yet?
Instead of snatching.
You would if they committed a crime, though, right?
It's an illegal activity. We would take it for
Does that guy look
Okay.
peaceable or does he
Good.
look violent?
That's rare. You know that, right?
You know? I also have folks tell me, it's so dangerous. I'm like, but wait, what I'm doing isn't wrong. You're recording in public, right? The safest place for me should be right now. Right? That should be the safest place, but it's not.
Wait, not today it is.
Not today, but no. But here's what I want you to consider, you know. And I'll ask a lot of questions. A lot of them are like rhetorical questions, you know. But it's like, are you trying to build public trust? Or are you trying to lose public trust? Right? So anytime you see videos online or something, or you hear a first-hand account of what just happened, you know, the fact. I would think, like, I would be appalled if I was a cop, right? And that cop was giving me a bad name, because you guys all have the same line. That's known all throughout the country. So you know, you're known to protect each other behind the blue line, right? What I would think is if you wanted officers to be safe, what you'd want to do is you'd want to call out that bad behavior, and you'd want to just completely distance yourself from the bad apples, is what they say, right?
Well, yeah,
There's only a few
just
bad
like
apples.
your gentleman over there in the, I don't know, leather cut or black is a better term. I don't know what that vest. Excuse me.
I won't get you up on the turn now.
I wanted to make sure he knew that the officer that he was quoting in Fort Worth, I believe it's Fort Worth, Texas, was arrested and convicted. I wanted to make sure he knew that. In case sometimes you don't get the full story, just like you just said.
Right.
What happened? I didn't hear the full story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but again, going back to the stories and the eyewitness accounts and everything, like when you guys hear stories like that, just do me a favor, like, you know, do you watch videos on YouTube? Do you watch any cop watching? Have you ever heard of that? Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You've heard of Long Island Art, great apologist? Okay. All right, so great apologist. But anyway, so my whole point to this is, like, it's disappointing if you guys don't. You know what I mean? Because
It's very educational what we do.
And you guys can do that on your own. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can go back and you can watch, okay, this cop looked like a real idiot on camera versus this cop, like, you guys are all look great professionals today, right? But then you can go and look at videos where this cop looks like shit. You could show that to, like, you guys, right? And be like, here, you're going to have cameras show up. Here's a guy who's like an idiot on camera. Here's another video of a guy who's just kind of like... He's got...
You let me turn the lights on?
Yeah! Come on! Yeah.
We only turn them on when we need to.
Well, he brought the book out for something. So that's a good sign. See, you know what? Anytime we've ever tried to do this,
You guys should have those books in your cars.
We have them on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't take the computer out to show the book out.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Saying something stupid on camera, doing something stupid on camera.
All the Delaware codes posted on the internet.
Yeah. Now, do you go strictly by the codes, or, you know, because some of the codes are pretty unconstitutional, right? So, do you ever have that? Oh, but
So that means if
There's some things, yeah.
yeah.
you should be...
What's the term?
Do you ever feel conflicted with it?
Conflicted after this way.
Well, do I go by the code or do I go by the Constitution?
If I make the decision to arrest, I'm not conflicted on that decision.
But do you ever feel conflicted before you make the arrest as, oh, what should I do here?
No, because
You're gonna follow the code?
I'm going to follow my convictions.
Your convictions. So if you believe that the Constitution is a violation of the Constitution, you won't follow the code if you feel like it's unconstitutional.
In what way? Like what
There's a lot of laws on the books that violate constitutional rights.
Which ones?
Freedom of speech, like he just brought up, that there's a code that says you can't swear in public.
You also have freedom of peace, and if you violate
So
freedom of
It
peace,
doesn't say peace in the Constitution at all. Yeah. But people are peaceable. Persons sometimes are not. And there is a difference in the Constitution. Difference between people and persons.
in what way? I'm not.
Well, the preamble says we the people. And then when you go to get into the Fourth Amendment, you know, it says people in the beginning have the right to be secure in their persons, papers, homes and effects, property and effects, right? In their persons. That's the difference. People are more of a spiritual thing. person is a biological thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, people can be secure in their person.
I'll have to check in on that on my own.
Yeah, it's the Fourth Amendment.
Personally, for me, I just like to see.
That's why it's so important for the government to get people's names, to be able to charge them with whatever crimes or whatever crimes they think they have. And so if they don't have a name, they really get peeved by that. Yeah. Because they have to have the name. They have to have an identity. You know, got to have that ID, right?
Well, no, you don't have to have an ID. If you don't, you have to have a driver's license.
Right.
Privately.
But which is identification.
As far as it
Yeah, which is your papers.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to have probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime is occurred.
That's why earlier when I asked how did we formally address it, what title do you want, not an extra name. I
Right.
want its name or title. I left
Right.
whatever you wish to get.
Yeah, and no, you were good there. No, you didn't try to force a name or ask for ID or anything like that, and that's good.
I even beat you to my back number.
Yeah, you did. Well, see, the difference is you're not part of the people, and you are a public servant, right? So you serve the people. A lot of government officials kind of forget that sometimes. They believe that they don't answer to the people, that they're more powerful, or they're up there on the food chain, which they're really not. People are at the top, right? We, the people, in order to form a more perfect union.
Listen, I do this. I'm not going to forget.
So words mean things, and the Constitution uses those words. They even use code words too. Like the Ninth Amendment.
So what do you mean code words?
Code words. Others in the Ninth Amendment. You know what others were? Slaves. Yeah. Read the Ninth Amendment.
I'm reading in that light now. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a new light. There's no extra additional freedoms given in the Ninth Amendment at all. It's the government cannot get involved in citizens and their slaves. They can't get in between them. That's what others means is slaves. It's a code word. That's how they spoke back then. What are we going to do about the others? That's why they said, oh, they're 3/5 of a person.
Run this conversation back.
It says that in the Constitution. But I think it was brilliant that they did that because it gave the southern states less less representation because they couldn't count it in the census as a full person. And so they didn't have as much say in national events. So that's why slavery was eventually done away with. It was kind of brilliant that the North said you can't count them because you're counting them as property. You can't count them as a full person. But we'll give you 3/5 as a kind of a, what do you call that? When they agree somewhat, make concessions in order to get the Constitution ratified. So, because the southern states, they all own slaves, right? And they wanted to keep their property, because that's in that time it was considered property. And they said, well, if you're going to have that cake, you're not going to be able to eat it too. It can't be a full person. Well, we want them counted in the census. Okay, we'll give you 3/5 of a person. So they didn't get as much representation as the North did. And so eventually, slavery was going to be abolished anyway. Make sense? Yeah. So the Ninth Amendment is a good read.
I'm not giving you advice. No, not this place. Where's the good place? I don't know of any. I don't know. Lou, now we're getting somewhere.
I'm liking this discussion we've been having. I'm liking this discussion we've been having.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm liking this discussion that we've been
A
having.
little hot. That's all.
Yeah. Well, it's a little hot, warm out here. We got a nice breeze though. You should be wearing white.
Oh, I can barely wear this.
I know it's too dark. It attracts the sun, the heat.
You gotta be careful with the order following. You know what I'm saying? That
You should all have white shirts. You should all have white shirts.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Me and your car's way over there.
Yeah, it's where it's
I think it's Cleveland or Cincinnati. There is an agency where they all wear white. I can't imagine that driving.
Well, but they're cooler.
Yeah, that's
If they're out in the heat, it's cooler for them.
And I, you don't always, you can't always.
1672. What if you were born and growing up in those days and joined the police department in 1672?
Well, I wasn't that, so I can't answer that question.
You would have been working under consent of the king and following the king's orders, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
that's the time frame we
Come
were
on,
under.
Come on. You can just.
Yeah.
That's what our bag. We were under French, Swedish, British, and then the colonies.
Right.
Flags at one part or another in our.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel?
So some sort of master, one way or the other.
State of Joe Biden. Oh yeah. they have it on the welcoming center and everything. Yeah.
The Biden Center. Yeah.
Biden's
So I don't get into politics that much.
I'm not.
Red states, blue states, blah blah blah. Two wings.
Break down politician means
Yeah.
idiots or something along those
Yeah.
lines.
Well, in government means mind control. Yeah. That's the true definition of government. Greek.
Greek.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, but
So Sweden
criminality.
it's a traffic symbol, correct?
And that's, that is the case. Our government puts out propaganda all the time, right?
It's everything on the internet.
Yeah. Well, and it's also in mainstream media. They just regurgitate whatever the government entities tell them. They don't really investigate.
Try not to watch news. Like, I've
Yeah.
got kids. The only thing on TV is child cartoons.
Yeah, it's all propaganda. Well, even cartoons have propaganda in them these days.
I got confidence.
Do they?
Oh, yeah. Really watch it closely. Yeah. Yeah. There's always been propaganda within media, Hollywood. It's all.
Oh yeah, I'm serious. Yeah.
You're in violation of a traffic.
Yeah. You guys really do need to get the buttons. I mean, wheelchair can come up there, so that's ADA compliant. But once to the doors, it's kind of stuck unless somebody opens the door for them. That's not good.
I haven't even been paying attention. What's up? What up, Jeeps? Appreciate you being in here. What up, Jedi? Oh, hell yeah. I'm getting all kinds of love.
Well, I mean, if you're allowed
But you're right, it is getting hot out here. Yeah.
You're watching this live.
It absolutely is.
I can't go too far back. Jim Busby, what is up? We got work. I don't know if Kansas is coming up. We got me surrounded, guys. They're not going in. We had them detained, but now I think they're in general. So I lost the name of the situation here. Oh, David, you're what up, David? I'm pretty sure he's in here.
Sorry, guys, I can't see the chats.
I definitely did one.
Yeah, if you're not wearing a seatbelt,
He's had a long day. Why? How long has it been? How long has it been?
That is a long shift. Yeah.
it actually says that.
You guys paid double time or overtime for over 8 hours? Or is it over 40? Over 11 and a half. So they just work 4 days a week then? So it all evens out to 40 hours a week? Okay.
We are able to break the law and chase that person. You can't catch a steer. So if I prove not to work traffic, yeah, there's nothing wrong with telling me, you just keep it. I just know that I can't do anything.
You can't learn something new every day.
guys do solve a lot more crimes through fight
What if I do that?
Do you know anything about any crime?
Yes.
I can't hear very well.
If you see any Lasky Wabbits, let them know. Yeah.
They're still good though. I'm about to go some like trick. So dad tax. You ever heard of that joke? No, you pour a couple. You get your kid a candy bar at the store. You take a piece like a Kit Kat.
Oh, take it.
Yeah, so they get used to the government, what their government's gonna do to them. Yes, I love that.
Dad tax. You never heard that?
That's kind of what it's like because we gave the rabbit a piece.
Yeah, Rabbit took a piece and he thought he could take it all.
Yeah.
He thought he could take it all, but he's not.
Well, he also thought he was faster than the turtle.
Yeah, the turtle always
But the turtle won the race, didn't it?
wins the race.
The turtle is here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're aware of that. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you gotta paint
Looking in every rabbit hole. This was a rabbit hole. This castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knows why we're here.
Yeah. If you want to catch a rabbit out the LOG, you have to make a commotion like a DOG. Right? Waylon
He
Jennings.
sings it better. You like Waylon Jennings?
I don't know. What's your favorite genre of music?
Never meaning no harm.
Being in trouble with the
Law since the day they was born.
Making their way.
The only way they know how.
That's
Just a little bit more than the law will allow.
What's the song called? I'll take a listen to it.
Good old boy. That's from the song from
Dukes of Hazzard.
I heard that. I heard you say when you walked over there.
That's Waylon Jennings, but he's saying, don't you think this outlaw bitch
Yeah, Waylon Jennings sang that too. Don't you think this outlaw bit's got out of hand? Yeah.
they were the outlaws, and you know, it was just kind of, it started off a joke. Somebody called them an outlaw one day, right? And then the next thing you knew, New York was sending a posse down. And it's like I say, you know, we live the outlaw life, and people win again. It's a conspiracy, and the guy was like, conspiracy, and they're all over it. Yeah, it's like a maze. We've got government trapped in this maze, and we created it, and the FBI is constantly creating new agencies, and then they want to find out about us, so they go into our maze, and then they can't get out of it, and they're stuck in it. Right, and they don't know.
Yeah. It's just an endless maze.
But it's a maze. You tell them it's a maze, but they never believe.
They still go down that rabbit hole anyway. Yeah.
This has been great. Yeah, there's been no crime.
You guys.
Newcastle, not even a report of a crime. You see that? You should just have us here all the time, and then just crime will be suspended. We'll be here at your budget meeting.
Yeah. We should charge for our services, but we don't.
Sorry, that's fair enough. I'm not going to bust your balls. Okay. Well, you guys got to get in your circle and talk about the reports with me, right? All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you. All right,
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll be walking up to cops is dangerous. It's not safe.
We established that.
Thank you.
We'll be watching.
Can I get your car Tuesday? And then can I get
I'm gonna get a drink because I'm dying of thirst.
Thank you, sir. So that was Patrolman John Fry, 3067, Newcastle, Delaware.
I know I think it's conversation with you, but
Newcastle Police Department. They understand our rights, even though they're.
I did, thank you. I'll take another one. Perfect, thank you. I like cars. Newcastle, well behaved, man. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Exemplary performance, yes.
You know, we're going to credit you with them being on the best behavior because you're behavioral.
No, it's our training. We're on a best.
You are behavioral health. You are.
You make them behave.
They're amazing.
Have a good day. Nice meeting you.
Say
We're gonna drink clean Salvation parking lot.
People win again. It's a conspiracy.
Subscribe to Brandon Mitchell.
Subscribe to Press Harder. Subscribe to Brandon Mitchell.
West Side Accountability.
Broken System, Broken Trust, and West Side Accountability. Absolutely
First Amendment
wonderful.
bitches.
First Amendment wins again. Yes. And I am getting in the car, and we are going to end this. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.